Hello, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels Live Hospitality Talk Show. Hope all is well. Happy Tuesday. Decided to put a jacket on today. I'm not sure if I had a jacket on last week or not, but this is a newer jacket. Okay. In fact, I just got out of the cleaner, so it's actually kind of crisp today. Is it? Do I look okay? Just making sure. Let me get some stuff started here. I got to get my banner started because I need you guys to know this is show number 109. If you can believe that. I mean, who would have thought, right? This guy's done 109 shows. What the heck is he talking about? Well, you're about to find out. But welcome, but welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels Live Hospitality Talk Show. I'm live from La Cocina. Okay, so what is it? La Cocina, what does that mean? That's the kitchen, right? I'm live from the kitchen. Okay, so this is my kitchen. So I don't know. I always like trying something a little different, right? I did this a couple of weeks ago, and maybe I've done it. Maybe it's the third time I've done it from La Cocina. I'm not sure, but I like it because that's where everything happens, right, in the kitchen. And happy Tuesday, you too, Miss Michelle Carlin. Thank you so much for joining in. So we're live, Hospitality Talk Show. We're live on YouTube as well as LinkedIn. And then we're a podcast after the show becomes a podcast, and we're gonna be on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Google Podcasts, Overcast, and Apple Podcasts. So and probably any other place you can find your favorite podcast platform. Just type in On Air with Russell of Hotels and see what comes up. Today is Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. Like I said, show number 109. We're all about marketing disruptor, and we're disrupting the status quo. That's what this show is, right? I'm at show number 109, so I've been disrupting the status quo for 109 weeks, right? At least 109 weeks, right? So that's pretty darn good. So I can't complain. Before I get to the topics at hand, and those are hospitality, I have to do a quick shout out. I mean, this is a different kind of, it's a thank you slash shout out to Blythe. Okay, I mean, I have to say it, right, because I was blown away by what they did, or I don't know, and I'm not really sure who's responsible for this, but it's a good thing. So I'm just gonna say Blythe. I'm gonna name at least the mayor of Blythe, who is Mr. Dale Reynolds. So I have to thank him and whoever's in charge, the director, the general manager, whatever, of the transit agency in Blythe. I just have to give you a shout out and a thank you from the bottom of my heart and my family for recognizing my dad. And, let me give you a backstory. I'm not sure if you guys know, but I lost my dad the October 2019. Okay, and he was heavily involved in the community in Blythe, and he worked for the school district transportation for 43 years. Okay, and then he was a founding member of the transit agency in Blythe. And okay, so they have a couple of shuttles that go, to and from whatever locations in Blythe. Well, what they did was they honored some, not just my dad, but they honored maybe 3 or 4, maybe even 5 other individuals who made an impact in the community of Blythe, the Palo Verde Valley. Okay, they made an impact, and what they did was, to kind of commemorate their whatever they did, their involvement in the community. They put pictures of them. It's like a wrap around this bus, right? And one of the pictures was of my dad. So there's, like I said, there's probably 5 or 6 different individuals on there. Who's George Canangeli? Is he the director of transportation, or Palo Verde Transit? My sister just texted me, so I guess maybe I must have got a name wrong. I'm not sure, but George, maybe he's in charge of the transit agency. So I want to thank him, Dale Reynolds, whoever else is on that agency. Yes, okay, I'm right. Okay, so I just want to thank them for including my dad in there, because I mean he was all about the community of Blythe. He was a trustee at the Palo Verde College, which is the local junior college there in Blythe. Blythe as a college, believe it or not, right? So he was a trustee of the college for like 16 years, right? So so like I said, he was heavily involved, and he would be over the moon. He would be like, my goodness. That's what he would say. That was his favorite thing. When he got excited about something, he would say, my goodness. And he put like an emphasis on that at the end, right? So he would be excited about that. So I just want to thank them for doing that, because that means a lot. So thank you so much, City of Blythe, the mayor, and then George, who is the director of the transit agency there in Blythe. It's called Palo Verde Transit. So if you're ever in Blythe and just wait on Hobson Way, eventually it'll come around. Okay, so you'll see it. Okay, you'll see the pictures of him. And guess what? He's the only black guy on there. So you recognize him. So boom, there you go. Drop the mic, Blythe. So anyway, thank you so much. Moving on. Industry news 2021. Did you guys know 2021 Hospitality Power Index, most influential hospitality leaders? This was an award given out to, I don't know, 50 people or something like that, by the International Hospitality Institute. I have to mention this because I'm one of them, right? I was one of the 50 most influential. So I you know what? You gotta pat yourself on the back every now and then, right? So, but anyway, I have to mention that. Vegas reopens June 1. Road trip. Yeah, so Vegas is open. So in fact, they're going back to BC levels. Someone asked me, what is BC before COVID? So they're going back to BC levels or before COVID. So whatever they were doing, so let's just say whatever Vegas was doing, whatever you're allowed to do, I guess it means buffets and shows and games and whatever heck you were able to do in Vegas, BC, you're able to do it now, right? So, I mean, at least June 1st. So that's what they say. That's what I've heard. So there you go. So Vegas is reopening June 1st. So get ready to go. Get your, pack your bags, get your road trip going, make reservations, but just don't think that the rooms are going to be cheap, okay, less expensive than they were BC or PC pre-COVID, okay, so they're not, okay, so rates are already gone up. Rates are already at the level or over the level of 2019, believe it or not, but check it out. But yeah, so don't think, group business, whenever that comes back, transient business, whatever, business travel, whatever kind of travel you're doing, don't think the rates are just going to be, oh my God, because of COVID, the COVID rate, it's great. It's not, no, don't think it. Don't think about that, because it ain't gonna happen. Later on this show, as I get towards the end, so I want people to kind of wait and listen and watch. The topic I'm going to talk about is travel advisors or travel agents. That was the old term for them. Now they're advisors, and travel influencers. Do we need them? Yeah, I guess we need them. But the reason why I want to talk about this, last week there was and I'm not sure if you guys, I did not speak about this last week unless I did it on a live, which was after this show last week. There was a topic on Clubhouse, which I'm on quite often, and it had to do with travel advisors versus travel influencers. So they had a panel of travel advisors and a panel of travel influencers, and they were like, if this was a ring, if this was a knockdown, drag out fight, if they had a ring, I mean, it'd have been something else. They'd have been in there, scrapping, so to speak. But it was a heated and a spirited discussion. So I just want to some of the high points of it, or things I got out of it, or what it means to me. I mean, as a former GM or former director of sales and marketing, what role did a travel advisor versus a travel influencer pay in my hotel, right? So, and they had some, they had differences of opinion on who was more important. But one thing that came up was, why are travel influencers treated like gods and travel agents aren't? So that was a kind of heated exchange right there. Like, and the example was, I want to stay at this hotel. I'm a travel advisor and I want to stay at this hotel, but they won't give me a room. They'll give me a rate. But the travel influencer, they ask, and they just get carte blanche. They get everything. They get meals. They get rooms. I mean, why is that? So the question was, posed to hospitality professions, which are hotel people, which I was the only one in the room, right? So, well, I'm a former one too, but I can at least speak on it, what I thought about it. So, but anyway, we'll talk about that later. So that's a teaser. Okay. So don't, I'm not going to give it away yet. Want to increase your social media engagement? I talk about this. What about using Reels? Use IG Reels or do a live broadcast. As you guys, I'm not sure if you know this, but I've been doing more lives lately. I've been doing Reels since Reels, I wouldn't say since it came out, but since I found out about it, I've been doing Reels and you get a lot more engagement with that. But I've been doing more live broadcasts. So I try to do one like every other day or at least every Friday. I'll try to do a live, just talking about what I talk about on here, or maybe something I found out after the show, just kind of because in order for you to get increased engagement and help out your brand, you have to do more things. Okay, so just sitting back, not doing it is not going to work. So if you want to increase engagement, which I do, right? You never have enough engagement, I don't think, and I'm nowhere near saying that. Oh, I got enough engagement, so I'm good. No, no, no. So there's people that haven't seen me. There's people that haven't heard me. People don't know what the heck I do. So you have to continue that work in order to increase, your brand presence or whatever. You have to do that. And of course, if I'm representing certain brands, like hotel brands, if I want to work with these particular brands, they want to know what kind of engagement that I get, right? So those are things that's the reason why I do what I do. So if you want to increase your social media engagement, I got two things for you: IG Reels or do live broadcasts. And the IG Reels, that's of course that's Instagram, right? But you can also do TikTok if that's what you want to do. You can also do what do you call it? YouTube has something, I think it's called YouTube Stories. It's called YouTube Shorts. Shorts. SHORTS Shorts. So you can do it. So that's equivalent to the IG reel. So just so you know, you didn't know that, but I had to tell you. So what would prevent you from traveling? Nothing, because I got my vaccination, so I'm good to go. Peace. I'm out. I got my vaccination. I got my regular passport. So if they want to do this COVID passport, go right ahead because I'm ready. Are you ready? That's the thing. See, that's the thing that separates. They're going to try to separate people, right? It's going to be the vaccinated people versus the non-vaccinated people. You can get on the plane because you're vaccinated. You can't get on the plane. It's coming. If just think they roll out this COVID or vaccination passport. If you're on the other side, you're not going to be able to go. You're not going to be able to fly. I mean, I want to travel. Some people don't want to travel, so they don't care. So, well, those people don't have to worry about it. You don't want to travel, don't worry about it. Who's hiring? I have a couple people here. I didn't go crazy on this today. The Garland Hotel, they're looking for a restaurant manager, and they have a bomb restaurant over there. It's called the Front Yard. It's I like it because they have, they had like these fried what do you call them? Brussels sprouts. Man, they were good. And they had like candied walnuts and cranberries in them. That's the only thing I remember from there, right? Because I ate like 2 orders. Okay. That's what I remember, right? So they kind of have some vegan friendly things unless they change their menu. And I'm always looking for either vegan, plant-based, or vegan friendly restaurants. So whoever's going to be in charge of the Garland Hotel's restaurant, which is called the Front Yard, just make sure you keep those in the menu. Okay. So, and they're also looking, the same manager would be in charge of their in-room dining as well. Director front office, the Dream Hotel Hollywood. Love that hotel. Rooftop. You've never been there? Go to the rooftop bar, have a drink, and then tell them to ask them for the Russell of Hotels right there to you. Front desk manager, the Sheraton LAX Gateway. I have a soft part of my heart for the Sheraton Gateway LAX because when I was a senior at Cal Poly Pomona, 150 years ago, we did a total food and beverage, what do you call it? Our class, it was like a senior level class or whatever. I think it was one of the last classes I had to take. and it was devoted to reconstructing or reconfiguring or redoing their whole food and beverage component. At that time, they had maybe 3 restaurants in there, and we came up with a sushi and raw bar. There was no other sushi and raw bar on the strip, and guess what? They went for it. So got an A in the class, got a job offer from the Sheraton in New Orleans as a sales manager because they said, hey, you need to be in sales. Get out of this operations mess. And I was like, yeah, you're right, I do. So, but I wanted to learn the hotel first before I could even go into sales. So that's my story, right? But Julie Verduzco, what's going on? Was there Vegas seems like no pandemic, tons of people. Okay, so you heard it here from Julie Verduzco, CMP. She's the director of sales at the Lake Arrowhead Resort. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, right? So you're just right on cue there, Julie. So thank you so much for joining us. But yeah, she's saying that she was just in Vegas. Seems like no pandemic ever hit Vegas. Okay, people are just losing their minds, is what she said. So there's tons of people there. So you heard it from Julie Verduzco. Okay, so so don't get on me when someone says, well, there's not tons of people there. No, it's Julie. Get it from Julie. But real quick. So did I say use? So I'm losing where I'm here. So okay, front desk manager, Sheraton LAX. Look at Aimbridge and Evolution Hospital. Look at their websites. They have positions open as well, specifically sales and general manager. I didn't put all that down, but if you go to their website, Aimbridge Hospitality and Evolution Hospitality, they're actually part of the same company, if you guys didn't know that. But yeah, check out their websites. There's some positions there, and they're in the LA area. So that's where I'm located, just in case you did not know. Is your hotel open, or did you go to work? Did you want to create some FOMO? That's what you should do. Create FOMO. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. So if things are going on in your hotel, so you're reopened, you got a new job, you got the Russell of Hotels rate that you just added, create some FOMO. You want people to see other people having a good time. That's what that means, right? FOMO. So make sure you create that. Use social media consistently to get your message out. Whatever your product or service is, stay relevant, and it should be a huge part of your marketing strategy. I always bring that up every week, right? So make sure social media is part of your marketing strategy moving forward. Non-meat eats. You guys know that I'm 100% based. I don't eat meat. Some may say that. Some may ask, "Are you a vegan?" I have vegan ways. I'm not necessarily a vegan because the term vegan means that you've done away with all your leather products and things like that. I eat like a vegan. Okay, I don't eat any animal products or anything like that, but unfortunately, I still wear animal products. So that's the reason why I cannot be a vegan. So that's why I call myself 100% plant-based. So just in case somebody wanted to know that. But yeah, non-meat eats. So I went to this restaurant. It was Sonia's birthday over the weekend, and on Sunday, happy birthday. And we went to this restaurant called 2 Cents. 2 Cents restaurant on Pico, and it's in LA. It's vegan friendly. So it's not vegan, but it's vegan friendly or plant-based friendly. So what did I get? The quinoa scramble with sweet potato hash. Okay. So somebody out there saying, that doesn't even sound good. But then, quinoa scramble with sweet potato hash. What is that? That's okay. You don't have to like it, but I loved it. Okay. Excuse me while I take a drink of water. But yeah, so they had it was good. It was my first time there. I can't remember. Malachi, he got waffles, and Sonia got catfish or something, some type of fish, whatever. But it looked good. I didn't take pictures of that stuff. I only take pictures of what I eat, right? So I did post it on my Instagram. So just in case you wanted to go and look, and now you know what it was. Okay, so it was quinoa scramble with a side of sweet potato hash. Hey, I was on another Clubhouse thing yesterday, and they were talking about promoting, if you have vegan options, plant-based options, or anything like that, should they be promoting that? Should restaurants be promoting that? And I'm like, well, yeah, they should. I mean, because they asked me, well, how do you find the restaurants that are either vegan friendly or vegan? I said, well, I Googled, I have Googled, vegan restaurants in LA. So I got a list of 30, I want to say it's 36 restaurants that I have a list of that I know that are vegan, or at least, BC, they were vegan. That means before COVID. So, I have many restaurants I haven't gone to yet. So my list, I have to, work my way down this list that are either vegan friendly or they're 100% vegan restaurants. So some of them are fine dining, or at least full service restaurants, and some of them are takeout only. Um, but yeah, there's quite a few in LA, and that's one good thing about LA or Southern California, that you do have the option to, it's not hard to be plant-based if that's what you choose to be. There are a lot of restaurants out there, but do restaurants need to do a better job in promoting that? Yeah, I would say yes, they do. It's a whole marketing thing. And we even talked about, Guy Fieri with diners, drive-ins, and dives, where he's basically, his show is basically, people would do road trips and they would go to certain restaurants that were on his show. We did the same thing several years ago when my daughter was going to school in Cincinnati. We drove from here to Cincinnati, and along the way, there were a couple restaurants we stopped at because they were on drive-ins and dives. So, so that reach that he has, I mean, we need to do a little bit better than that. Or not, well, I don't think we do better than he can, but we need to do whatever we can do as far as on the restaurant level to promote. If you do have, maybe it's, you specifically say plant-based or vegan or non-gluten, gluten-free, or whatever it is, because a lot of times we get there and then we know what it is, but we don't see a promotion enticing us to get there. And then, okay, you're enticing us to go there because it is vegan, or it is plant-based, or it's gluten-free, or, whatever, peanut-free, or whatever the heck it is. So yeah, we do need to do a better job of that. But anyway, hotels, are we being consistent with our content or messaging during COVID times? Or now we're at the end of COVID, right? Hopefully. So are we being consistent with our message? What does that mean? Are we sending out messages of our protocol? Have we updated our websites with our new protocols? Have we posted pictures or videos showing our protocols? Protocols meaning, are we still adhering to the mask and the social distancing protocols? If we are, you need to have that either on your website. You need to have it on your website, or you're posting it or something like that. Because the last thing you want, and I just every week, last thing you want is to see something on the website and you go to the hotel and there's something totally different. Like say Vegas says, and this is just an example, Vegas says, yeah, we're adhering to the protocols, 6 feet, and we're wearing a mask. But then when you show up to Vegas, all hell is broken loose, and people, just like Julie said, there's no COVID going on. You know what I mean? So just be consistent. I'm not saying that you can do that, but I'm just saying just be consistent. Whatever the message is, be consistent on your social media platforms, on your website, and in real life when you get there. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me. Let me know what I'm getting myself into. So there you go. Are we showing our staff utilizing their protocols, i.e. cleaning? Are we showing people that they're taking their job serious, or the hotel's taking cleanliness serious, and we're seeing their employees, maybe their backs are to it, but that's okay. But they're cleaning, right? So are we showing that? Are we keeping housekeeping sexy? That's what I always say. Keep housekeeping sexy. What if some of your services are closed? Your food and beverage operations are closed. Make sure that's consistent with your website. What's going on within your area or destination, whatever that is. I'm not going to touch that at this point. Contact information. How do you get a hold of me? Russell@russellofhotels.com is my email. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I have 2 pages. I'm on YouTube, Clubhouse. Just go Russell of Hotels. Let's just make it easy. Russell of Hotels. You'll find me, or just Google me. People say, well, where are you now? I can't find your website. You're not looking. Okay, all you got to do is Google me and you'll find me. Okay, just go ahead and do that right now. I'll take some time just so you can do it. That was a joke. My website is russellofhotels.com as well. So and all my information is there. So my website, on my website, russellofhotels.com. My phone number is there. My email is there as well. So there's no excuses. What is the Russell of Hotels group? What does this guy do? He basically branding, digital marketing via social media, help build your presence. This is for hotels, restaurants, whoever, doesn't matter. If you got a story to tell, just let me know. I'll tell the story for you. Help build your presence via videos, postings, etc. You can also go to my website and make hotel reservations if that's what you wanted to do. Just click on russellofhotels.com and click on make a reservation anywhere worldwide, and you can do that. And I also do hotel selection for when that stuff comes back, right? So, I assist companies and organizations with finding the right hotels for their group meetings or group conventions or group whatever conferences. What do you call those other things? I can't even think of it. Anyway, meetings, 10 rooms or more, board meetings. That's what I was trying to think of. And I'm a host of a live show and podcast called On Air with Russell of Hotels, where I disrupt the status quo. About connecting, collaborating, and pointing people in the right direction. At least that's what I try to do. How is your professional brand or personal brand staying relevant? I ask the question every single week, and these are questions for you to answer. I'm not even going to help you. Okay, so number one, how is your professional or personal brand staying relevant? What are you doing to stay relevant? Number two, knowing what you know now, this whole COVID thing, is there anything that you're doing differently? What are you doing differently? Have you marketed differently? Are you marketing at all? Maybe you're not. Maybe you need to jumpstart that. Number three, have you connected with anyone new lately or old? Meaning, have you met anybody new, maybe during these Zoom calls or whatever, and you're keeping in contact with, or maybe someone that you have over the last year, you've lost contact with them. And that's going to be personal, professional, it doesn't matter. Pick up the phone or shoot them an email, find out where they are, make sure they're doing okay. People love to hear from other people, especially during this time. Number four, what has this situation taught you? Has it taught you to not put your eggs in one basket? Maybe you need to learn some more things. You need to take more classes. What has it taught you? Only you can answer those questions. Hotels, are you selling differently? Are you marketing more or less? Are you keeping your brand in front of your competition? Because guess what? They're doing something. So are you doing things that your competition is doing? Or are you just sitting back waiting for, well, when is the right time to start? Well, the right time to start is now. Okay. And there's no bad way to get your brand out there. Okay. So people say, well, I'm afraid to do the social media thing. I'm afraid to do live. I don't want to do a podcast. I don't want to do this. You got to start somewhere. And there's no bad thing. No one's going to say, okay, well, that was a bad posting. Well, unless you're there just doing crazy stuff. But if you're talking about your brand, say it's your hotel, you're putting something positive out there, people want to see that, right? Every store, every place has a story. Every person has a story. So don't be afraid to share your story with people. And I think that's the biggest thing where people get caught up in. What are people going to think when I do that live? You think I care what people think? No, I'm doing a live show. This is my 109th show. You think I care what people think? Maybe so, but I don't. But it is not going to stop me from doing what I need to do. Okay, so just think, someone's in the way. These negative comments, and I get a lot of negative comments. Don't get me wrong, but they're in the way of me helping out this client. I don't have time for I don't have time for that stuff. So you need to focus on what's important to you, what's important to your brand, and what is your brand trying to do? What is your brand? What issue or problem does your brand solve? Those are things you need to put out to people. Okay, what do I solve? I try to make hotels relevant. Okay, I'm trying to keep hotels first, up front, foremost, on top of mind, however you want to put it. That's my job, to make sure hotels they're staying relevant, they get exposure to the right people. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, so that's the problem that I'm trying to solve for hotels. Okay, to stay relevant, to stay top of mind. To don't worry about the social media stuff because I got you. That's my job to do. That was pretty good, huh? Hotels, the meetings will not be the same size. Oh, okay. Did I want to say that? Hotels, are you selling differently? Are you marketing more or less? Are you keeping your brand in front of your competition? Group business and corporate business will not come back as fast as we think. These are just, I'm just saying this stuff, right? And remember, meetings will not be the same size, so that creates a problem. I think I just got just kind of got a glitch in the system, kind of went out for a second. So the problem here is the competition. There will not be enough group business to go around. Group meetings are going to be a lot smaller initially. Okay, so everyone's going to be, every hotel in specific markets are going to be fighting for that particular piece of business. Well, how are you going to get it? What's going to separate you from the competition? What will separate you from the competition? Are you posting more? Are you engaging more with your audience, or that specific maybe that meeting planner is on social media and you've got their attention? So versus the competition who hasn't done it. So you have to do things that are different from your competition. If your competition is not posting or doing content creating, you need to do more content creating. Okay, so you just need to find that spot and stay in there, right? I mean, that's just it. There's no other way I can do it. So just remember that social media presence. Okay, so this is ways that you can differentiate yourself from the pack. I think there's 4 things. Social media presence, that's one. Do more lives. I told you that lives. Be on podcasts. You don't have to host your own podcast, but be on a podcast. You can come on air with Russell of Hotels. You can come on here and talk about your brand, tell your story. People want to hear it. And you need brand advocates, people that have stayed at your hotel before, maybe your employees. Maybe they love the hotel, they love your brand, and they will do anything for that brand. Well, ask them, say, would you be willing to maybe, do a live with me? You don't have to do them by themselves. Hey, how long you worked here? I worked here for 25 years. Why do you like it? I love it because, people are so nice, and the guests, they always come back because of me, or whatever the heck it is. So, I mean, that stuff resonates with people, just in case you didn't know, right? So people telling us their story. So that's what hotels don't have enough of: brand advocates, people that will do things for free. It doesn't matter. They will do it just because they're in love with your brand. Okay. Other people that you hire, they're not in love with your brand. They're in love with your money. Okay. So they want the money, right? So just think about it like that. That's one thing about me. I try to put things where you don't hear this everywhere. Okay. So that's why people always say, I would like to do a podcast, but I don't know what I would say. Well, you'll say whatever you feel, right? Because my way of doing things is different than, Joe down the street. Okay. If Joe did a podcast on hospitality, it would be totally different because guess what? My personality is different than his. I have a different network than his. I mean, so that's what it's all about. So don't be afraid to start this kind of thing if you're interested in doing it. And always feel free to call me and ask me. Shout out and congratulations to Rosibel Vega. She's a new HR manager at Lowe's Hollywood. Now I know Rosie she was the assistant HR manager at the Sheraton Universal, where I used to work. So for the last, I don't know, several months, we've been, having conversations about, she's been interviewing here, and she's been asking me questions about, they asked me this, what should I do with that? Should I apply for this job? Should I apply for that job? So I've been kind of coaching her along the way. So I'm so happy and proud that she got this job, because I'm not gonna say that. Sometimes we lack confidence in what we can do, right? And I'm like, no, you were doing that stuff at the Sheraton. Why wouldn't you be able to do it at Lowe's? Well, anyway, whatever happened, she got the job. So congratulations to Rosibel Vega. She's a new HR manager at Lowe's Hollywood. So there you go. Julie Verduzco And I have something for Julie. I have to put that up there, right? Can you guys see that? Do I need to take my picture off? Let me just hold on one second. So what am I doing? I'm gonna so now back. Okay, so there you go. So Julie, and I just ask. It's funny sometimes you talk to people like, can I get? Do you have any logos that you can? Why do you need it? Why this? What are you gonna do with it? I asked Julie in the email. I said, Julie, do you happen to have a logo? She sent me like 10 of them. Okay, no questions asked. She knows I'm not gonna use it. Right. So my job is to blow up brands, to keep them relevant, to let people know that they're there, that they're open, or whatever. So now that's what I just did, and now you know that Julie Verduzco is the DOS there, director of sales there at the Lake Arrowhead Resort and Spa. So there you go. And I'm going to be talking about this all week on social media because eventually I'm going to make it there. Okay, so there you go. And then a quick shout out to Miss Nicole Hankton. She's a sales and marketing manager at Visit Walnut Creek. Why am I, basically giving her a shout out? It's because she's done so much for that Walnut Creek community, or that CVB that they have there. Now, Walnut Creek is not huge. Walnut Creek is located Northern California, close to San Francisco and Oakland, and near the wine country. Okay, so but she has taken that place from just being a community to a place to go, right? To now visit Walnut Creek. Okay, so I think before it was Walnut Creek CVB, but now they rebranded and now they're Visit Walnut Creek. And she's she's the engine behind it, right? So I just want to, because I get things via email all the time from her, and these are things that I noticed. I've been noticing that, but this is the first time I actually recognize it, right? So this morning I got another email, and it's not just about the hotels, it's about the community, it's about the restaurants that are open. So she's doing a great job, not just for the hotels, but for the community, for the business community, right? Because CVBs, or destination marketing organizations, their main focus it's not just for hotels, it's for every business that's there, because clients or tourism that comes in there, they're not just going to stay at your hotel. They're going to go to eat. They're going to maybe go if there's local parks. They're going to take advantage of all the services that are there in that particular destination. So she does a great job of putting that on the map. If you didn't know where Walnut Creek is, like I said, it's near San Francisco and Oakland. You need to check it out. So visit Walnut Creek is I believe it's probably visitwalnutcreek.com or .org, or just Google it and you find it. But Nicole Hankton, thank you so much for what you do. And like I said, I noticed this stuff. I just haven't said anything. So thank you so much. And maybe one day we can have you on the show. You can come on and talk about, Visit Walnut Creek. So there you go. Travel influencers versus, it's getting warmer here. You guys don't know, but I have this big light right here, right? So this is like a production studio, right? Although it's La Cocina, it's like my production studio. So there's lights in here, and I even have I have the door open and the window open, but it's hot now. I may have this jacket on. But anyway, I have to, that my brow every now and then because it's a little sweaty. I'm getting a little, perspiring a little bit. But anyway, you don't need to hear that. But anyway, I wanted to talk real briefly about travel advisors versus, I don't know if it's versus or, okay, let's just say that, just for the sake of whatever discussion. Travel advisors versus, hold on one second, let me just make sure. Versus, what was I saying? Versus travel influencers. I lost my train of thought. It's right here in front of me. So this discussion was last week on Clubhouse. It was hosted by Maret Padovani. Now, Maret is like one of the best hosts on Clubhouse. Okay, I mean, I don't know if she's listening to this, but I think she's one of the best hosts. And I actually asked her to be on the show, and she said she's gonna be on the show June. Can't remember the date, but it's in June, right? But she's gonna be on the show in June. She's actually in Switzerland. Yeah, she's in Switzerland, but she is a director of marketing for, I don't know if it's just one hotel or several hotels. I'm gonna find out her story, but she was hosting this room, and it had to do with travel advisors and travel influencers, which got kind of heated. So, and then one of the questions that I just wanted to address: why do influencers get free stuff and travel advisors get nothing? Basically, what this one travel agent was saying, travel advisor was saying, and a lot of them kind of echoed that, like, yeah, that's true. They don't get anything. And I just went from my own experience where travel influencers, and I really didn't get to say this because, you know, you only allotted so much time. You don't want to take up everyone's time because there's probably over the room. That's huge. We have 100 in the room, and everybody wants to talk. And they had a panel with probably 10 people. So I got a chance to say a little bit because I was only hotelier in the room. But, you know, you really don't get a chance to say, really think about what you want to say. But now that I have my own show, I can say whatever, and I got 20 minutes to say it. So, but what I was saying, that travel advisors equals a sales function, which equals dollars and cents. Okay, all right. Now, travel influencers equal marketing, which equals exposure that hopefully turns into money. Okay, so when you hire an influencer, you're hiring them for the people that they have access to. Okay. Now, what's the ROI, the return on investment of a travel influencer? We don't know. So we're hoping that, okay, it's marketing dollars, right? So it's not sales dollars, it's marketing dollars. Okay. It's all about your brand, it's promotions and things like that. So, you know, we always want the ROI, you know, the return on investment, but sometimes certain things for branding purposes, we don't get that, especially with influencers where, you know, some hotels, this is a new thing for them to do. But yeah, so you're hoping that these travel advisors, when they post something about your hotel, your resort, your destination, that it's getting to those right people. But you have to vet these influencers out to see exactly, well, who's in your network? You know, who are you sending these things to? You know, show me your metrics and exactly who are you reaching. Okay, because on the other hand, the travel advisors, they actually, you can run a report and see which travel agents or travel advisors are booking into your particular hotel or at least your area, right? Or who's booking into your competition. So I believe it used to be called the Hotelligence report, right? So it had a Hotelligence, Hotelligence 360. I can't remember the exact name of the report, but you get the gist, right? Where you can look at this report and it tells you where these travel agents are coming from, or where these travel advisors and which companies they represent, right? So you're able to, okay, now they're clients of ours, right? So we can do things for them. Now, I can speak for myself. When a travel advisor contacted me and asked me for either a free room or a rate, I was able to give that to them. But the caveat was they had to take a tour of the hotel. Regardless if I had a 100-room hotel, 200-room hotel, 1,000-room hotel, it didn't matter. You have to take a tour. In order for you to get the rate, I need you to take a tour. So that was the caveat, right? But I guess they're feeling slighted, at least in this conversation, they're feeling slighted that, you know, okay, obviously they didn't come to my hotels when I was working because, you know, it would have been a moot point because I would have taken care of that. But they're asking now, well, why are the influencers getting more than we're getting. And I made a comment. I said, because being a travel influencer is sexy now, right? Because everybody, they're it's glamorous and they have all these people and it's exposure. Hopefully it turns into money, right? So, but I said, I'm not discounting. They shouldn't be doing that. Other hotels should not be doing that. They should be taking care of people equally. But if you're a travel advisor that's not giving anything to that particular hotel and you have nothing coming up, why would they want to do anything for you as well, right? Other than the travel agent rate, if it's even available. Okay, so it's not that I think they want to be taken care of exactly like the travel advisors, but I said, remember, hotels are all different. It's not like one size fits all. I mean, are they, is it a branded hotel? Is it corporate managed, corporate owned? Is it an independent hotel? Is it a boutique hotel? I mean, what market is it in? I mean, is it a PR company that's doing this stuff? Because there's a myriad of ways or myriad of different differences between one hotel to the next. And maybe they're able to, maybe they have more of a, what do you call it, marketing budget where they can afford to have these influencers come and do these things for them. So it's just, it was one of those conversations where no one was going to win. I think at the end, but then again, was it about winning and losing? I think it was about, this is my story and I need to be treated the same way that if I'm a travel advisor, I need to be treated the same way as a travel influencer. And I get that, right? So I say, yeah, be consistent in how you're treating them, but you also need to do your homework. Who is this travel advisor and who is this travel influencer? Who the travel influencer is a marketing piece, right? Okay, so that's part of your marketing. What are they doing? Who do they have in their bag of tricks that they're going to post things and it's going to go to all these people? Okay, so that's the marketing part. Now, the travel advisor, who do they represent in your market? Now, do they represent, I mean, are they part of a huge, what is it called? I can't even think of the term. Are they part of a huge travel agency or are they just independent and they don't have anyone in your particular market that they do business with? I mean, so it just depends, right? So everything should be somewhat equal if you can, but just remember, for me, I would take care. Who would I take care of? The ones that's getting the ROI is there, right? So if I'm giving this travel advisor, although like I said, I have to vet that travel advisor as well, but I know they have an IATA number. I know they book things, right? So maybe that's the difference here. Maybe that travel influencers maybe need to be a little bit more like travel advisors, and then travel advisors need to be a little more like travel influencers, right? Because a lot of the travel advisors that are on this call, they had no social media presence. Okay, just imagine you're a travel advisor and you have a social media presence, right? So that kind of would blow a lot of the travel influencers out, right? Because they have the IATA, you can track their performance, right? So that's how I always look at it. Can I track your performance and what companies do you represent? I mean, that's bottom line. So I guess I'm the best of both worlds, right? So I have an IATA number. A lot of people don't even know that. I have an IATA number. So I can be a travel advisor or I can be a travel influencer. I'm kind of split down the middle, if you will, right? Because I do that for the meetings, on the meetings part, right? So 10 rooms or more, I do that as well. So, but anyway, so I hope that made sense. But anyway, let's wind down this conversation and wind down the show. But then again, the travel advisors, I remember we would invite them to all the events, all our client events, they would come, right? Holiday parties, they would get gifts as well. So we took care of the hotels I was at, we took care of the travel advisors. So I don't remember what the lady was, but if you were in my market, in my area, you would be taken care of, okay? Because like I said, you guys were gold for us. We would rather have pay 10% versus 15 to 20% for the OTAs. So there you go. In closing, I have a couple things I had to go over, but real quick, marketing is never about you. It begins with your audience and what they want. Once you know what your audience wants, connect them with your product or service in a way they want to receive it. Hotel brand advocate, I mentioned this earlier, is a guest or employee of a business who proactively shares info about your hotel to their networks via social media, word of mouth, email, or through content without any incentive other than the love for your brand. So we need more of those, right? Hotel brand advocates. That's what we need. And I always end the show with the 4 P's. The ROH is 4 P's. Purpose, I hate to know your why. I'd like to say, know why you're doing what you're doing, okay? It may be the same thing, but I'm saying it a little differently. People, be a leader, be inclusive. Passion, either you have it or you don't. Perseverance, be consistent, evolve, continue to evolve, don't give up, and swerve when you need to. Leaders need to have more empathy during these COVID times, be more inclusive with your team. You know what? Let me back up. Leaders need to have more empathy anytime, okay? And be more inclusive with your team. COVID, no COVID. So I'm going to say this. Leaders, be more inclusive with your team. Boom, done. Use this time to develop yourself, separate yourself from the pack, learn something new, invest in yourself, and always, always stay relevant. Focus on what you can control. The other crap, you can't deal with it. You can't do it. So just don't even worry about it. Your brand is your culture. Leadership dictates where your company will go. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. I do appreciate you coming on and listening to me for ramble for an hour. And look forward to, the stuff I'm going to be doing this week, some lives and things like that. So make sure you follow me on Instagram, and because I'm going to be doing some lives from some locations really quick here. So you guys have a great week. Happy Tuesday. Wait a minute. There's one comment. I just saw that. Eric Gibson. Hey, Eric. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Say hey to Natalie for me. You guys take care. And let me just make sure. What was I going to do?